NFL Week 3, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We have the Indianapolis Colts getting 6.5 points at Philadelphia. Oh, by the way, I'm glad I took Cleveland Thursday night. Getting back to that, congrats to the Browns fans finally getting a W. Got to win at some point, right? Kind of reminds me of the team off of the movie The Waterboy, where they go like 3 seasons without a win, and they finally got a win with Bobby Boucher. God, how could I forget that? Anyways, congrats, Browns. So, yes, the Colts are getting 6.5 at Philadelphia. Philadelphia looks a little rocky this year. The Colts bounced back after a Week 1 loss. 6.5 points. I actually like the Colts with the 6.5 points. I like Philly to win the game at home, of course, but I like the Colts with the 6.5 points. So that's your pick on that one. Cincinnati getting 3 at Carolina. Oh boy, I got a buddy who is a diehard Panthers fan. It's going to be very interesting. Carolina coming off a tough divisional loss to the Atlanta Falcons. It's going to be tough. Carolina returning at home. Cincinnati Bengals look really good this year so far. I know Mixon probably is going to be out this game, but Andy Dalton, man, he ain't making many mistakes. Knock on wood. It's only week 3, rather. But, God, it seems like when I pick against my team, they win. I'm almost afraid to pick them. I don't know, man. This is a tough one. I'd love to see Cincinnati win. Carolina covers the 3 points, but Bengals win 23-20. God, I hope so. If Cincinnati wins this game, they're going to be a threat. Then I'll believe they're for real. Tennessee getting 7 at Jacksonville. Tennessee is actually not that bad of a team. Jacksonville Jaguars coming off that upset win against New England. Who called it? Jacksonville ain't no joke, man. I think Jacksonville is going to go all the way this year. I really do. I think they got a ferocious defense. Blake Bortles looked like a Hall of Famer against the New England Patriots. That was probably one of his best games I've ever seen. The only thing that I could see holding Jacksonville back from a Super Bowl is probably Blake Bortles. But their defense is going to get them a long, long way, and Jacksonville is the real deal. I like Jacksonville to keep it rolling. 3-0, and they beat the Tennessee Titans, actually in a close game. 24-20, so that means Tennessee will cover. Divisional rival games, they're always close. New Orleans getting 3 at Atlanta. By all accounts, New Orleans shouldn't have beat the Cleveland Browns last week. New Orleans looks old. Drew Brees looks old. Listen, the Saints had their time. They won a Super Bowl. They're in the same boat the Giants are in. They're old, and they're tired. They need to start fresh. I like Atlanta at home. Of course, I don't think Matt Ryan's any better, but I like Atlanta at home. Denver getting 5.5 at Baltimore. Baltimore coming off a tough loss last week on Thursday Night Football. They're at home against Denver, against Case Keenum. Yes, I know they're 2-0, but they're lucky to be 2-0. Really, honestly. So I like the Baltimore Ravens to actually bounce back and win this game outright. At home, if it was at Mile High, I'd pick Denver. But it's at Baltimore. Coming off a loss, you got to go with Baltimore. New York Giants getting 6 at Houston. New York Giants, 2 teams that are really, the Giants are freaking horrible. They are just god-awful. But I don't see anything special about Houston either outside of J.J. Watt. That's the only reason anybody knows who's the Houston Texans are. But you know what? With Odell Beckham Jr. and Eli Manning, I really think the Giants are going to bounce back and win. I think they're going to get their first win here. They can't afford to go 0-3. I really think the Giants are going to get their first win here. And if the Giants go 0-3, stick a fork in them, they're done. The Giants must win this game. Oakland getting 3 at Miami. Well, man, was I wrong about the frickin' Miami Dolphins. Man, they are just showing me up week after week. They look like a solid football team. They look really good. Ryan Tannehill looks like he's finally getting it done, getting it in the groove. And the Oakland Raiders, man, they were the team to beat 2 years ago, in my opinion. If Derek Carr wouldn't have gotten hurt, I really think the Raiders would have made a run to the Super Bowl that year. I really do. But unfortunately, Derek Carr got hurt, and it looks like the Raiders just have not been the same since. They're struggling. They're 0-2. I'm looking at them to go 0-3 here. Miami at Miami. Miami looks like they're on a roll right now, and the Raiders are just back to the same old Raiders we were used to knowing. They are just a struggling franchise right now. No disrespect to the Raiders, because I like Derek Carr, believe me, and I like the Raiders, but, It's just Oakland's in trouble. They need to rebuild. Washington getting 3 at home against Green Bay. Washington. I like Green Bay. I like Green Bay to cover the point spread. You're going to love this one. Buffalo getting 16.5. Yes, you heard me right. 16.5 on the road at Minnesota. Minnesota in a game they clearly should have beat at Green Bay. The kicker, sad to say, is actually from Augustana College here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Look him up. He's out of a job, obviously. Gee, and when I thought Blair Walsh was the worst one they had. Well, there actually is somebody worse than Blair Walsh. 16.5 points. Week 3, have you ever seen a point spread at 16.5 on week 3? I never have. Buffalo will cover. Minnesota will win. Kirk Cousins is the real deal. Kirk Cousins, I always said, if you get him in the right environment with the right coaches, I think he could be a stud, and he's proven to be a stud. Kirk Cousins did everything he could and then some to win that football game at Green Bay last week, but Minnesota's kicker choked. So, Minnesota will win this game decisively. Not by more than 16.5, though. I don't see that. But by at least 14. So, actually, it would be an upset. With the point spread, Buffalo with the points. Minnesota wins easily, but Buffalo with the points. San Francisco getting 6.5 at KC. Jimmy Garoppolo got their first win last week. KC just looks on fire, man. They're in the same boat, right? The Chiefs and the Dolphins and the Jaguars, they've got to be the surprises of the year so far, honestly. I like Kansas City to keep it rolling, especially at KC. Tough win. I think it's like one of the toughest places to win. I like KC to go 3-0. LA Chargers getting 7 at the LA Rams. LA Rams will fucking kill that team. Freaking 31-14. The Rams are just a beast freaking team. Jared Goff looks like he had a bad year his first year, but man, he's getting it together. Todd Gurley's a stud. The Rams keep it rolling. They beat the Chargers. Arizona getting 5.5 at home against Chicago. Arizona is fucking straight up trash. I mean, they are god awful. I mean, they are probably the worst. If you go by statistics, they are the worst team in the league right now, believe it or not. They've only scored, 6 points in 2 weeks? Like Chicago on the road. 5.5. In a game, Chicago could easily be 2-0 right now. That's why I kind of question Green Bay. Are they really that good? Is the hype really real, or are they hurting? Chicago could easily be 2-0 right now. But I like Chicago on the road to beat Arizona outright. Arizona is freaking horrible. Dallas getting 1.5 at Seattle. Man, Seattle Seahawks 0-2. I never would have thought that. Even me as being, ever since Richard Sherman left, I really had no reason to hate the Seahawks. Now, but even me being a Seahawk hater, or was, being 0-2, I'm sorry, Dallas Cowboys. You know what? You're a struggling team this year, too. Just something ain't right there. Jerry Jones needs to retire. And, God, I hate to pick against the Cowboys because that is my second favorite team. But Seattle ain't going to go 0-3. There's no way. Not at Seattle. So give me Seattle with the points and the win. Sunday night, Detroit getting 7 at... Detroit is getting 7 at home. This is what I don't get about these point spreads sometimes. How the hell is Buffalo getting almost 17 points against Minnesota, but a team like New England, who just came off a loss against Jacksonville, is getting, the other team's only getting 7 against Detroit of all teams. Detroit is horrible. New England will freaking roll Detroit. It ain't even going to be a game. It's going to be like 34-3. I mean, New England is going to stop Detroit. I always said I hate whoever plays New England after they've taken a loss because New England's going to bury Detroit. And finally, Tampa Bay getting 1.5 at home against Pittsburgh. I don't understand that line. I really don't. Tampa Bay, on paper, looks like clearly the better team. Tampa Bay's just on a roll. Ryan Fitzpatrick, man, I don't know what's going on with him, but man, he's got a firecracker up his ass. He's looking really good. And Pittsburgh looks like they're just struggling at all. By all accounts, they should have lost to the Browns. I like Tampa Bay at home. Keep it rolling. Another shock team goes 3-0. So, there's your week 3 picks, people. And good luck to all your teams. Go Bengals.